get the party started. All right, I think we live. First time doing this bad boy, isn't it? How do I? Oh, here we are. Is it got a delay? Oh, here we are. Is it got a delay? Okay, we're delayed. We're on a delay here, but it's fine. I hope this is actually recording. Let's see. Hello? Is it got a delay? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we're delayed. We're on a delay here, but it's fine. Oh, hang on, I've got to put my pitch up here. They want to join my cam show, and then you can join my membership site. All right. This is a lot of nonsense. Oh, check that bad boy. Check that bad boy. That's my offer. All right, let's get into it. Okay. All right, I think we're good here. Okay. We're I believe. Okay, we're working. Okay, a long time since I've done this, so let's get straight into it. Breaking down Todd Brown's Borrow a Bestseller sales letter book. I hope the sound is okay. Right, let's do this. It's not often I see a funnel that completely blows my mind. This funnel did just that. The most brilliant thing I've seen in years. Okay, so obviously starting with proof, and I'm assuming obviously Todd Brown's market is internet marketing niche, sophisticated marketers, I'd say, some more advanced marketers, and they already know Russell. Okay. Oops. So they're starting from a point of understanding. Okay. Also, it says this funnel, which is actually also pretty intriguing because in my mind, that's actually saying like it's increasing intrigue, and it's almost pre-framing the prospect to buy the product and go through the entire funnel, which is obviously also going to increase AOV. So proof. Okay, a whole new way. Shit. Oh man. If you're a copywriter, you obviously know this already. You always want to start with new. The promotion has to be something new and different immediately from the get-go. You have to give them a reason to actually read the sales letter. So a whole new way to grow your business fast. Yep. Jesus. New and fast. Always want to include that. And then grow your business. The main benefit, obviously. Borrow a bestseller. The big idea behind this. Borrow bestseller and get flooded with new customers in just days. Okay, so this right here is the major benefit. If you've seen some of Todd's stuff, he'll always say something like, buy this book and get a surge of new customers, for example. So that's his like main market, basically. So major benefit. Whoa, this is... And the rule of, if you're an advanced copywriter, you know the rule of one. So it starts off immediately from the big idea, and then all throughout, he's going to hammer the same thing, get flooded with new customers in just days, and then provide a whole complete sales argument for just that. So no real advanced concepts yet. And whenever you look at a headline, it's good. It's pretty useful to use the 4Us. Pretty sure Bob Bly popularized that concept, but is it unique? Borrowing a bestseller, it's pretty unique. It's pretty out of the ordinary. Is it useful? Yes, it is useful. You don't need to have your own book. Plus, you can get flooded with new customers in just days, so it's a benefit. Is it specific? Not really. No, actually, not at all. It's not specific. Not yet. I want to see. No. So I wouldn't say specific, but so if I was to critique this, I would say Todd could probably be more specific in this case. For example, obviously with figures and so on. But in his defense, you have to think about Facebook ad compliance as well. As far as I know, Facebook ad compliance does not like specificity. So I'm pretty sure that's why he didn't include any specific numbers. Let's see if anyone's in here. No, I don't think so. I hope this is recording anyway. Whatever. Oh, Jesus. I did this the other day and it didn't record. Okay. So, and it's not... Let's see if it's urgent. Get flooded with new customers. Okay. Obviously, flooded is a power word, whatever you want to call it. It provokes some imagery in just days, so it's fast and easy. So whenever you sell something, you basically got to sell fast and easy. At least lead off of it. Possibly, this is what I call disclaimer word. So it allows you to make a bigger claim while at the same time staying compliant as well. And it maintains believability. So... And if you've read my book, The Forbidden Secret of Copywriting, you'll know the whole concept of the forbidden secret is basically just to maintain believability and create a chain of logical reasoning. So from the get-go, if Todd just makes a claim that's outright not believable at all, the reader's off like a shot, especially in this day and age with everyone being so skeptic, such a skeptic. Possibly the easiest. Yep, you got to sell easy again. Like he's hammering easy and fast. Possibly the easy and fastest advertising method to get thousands of new buyers. Again, benefit, and then objection. So big benefit, and then covering our objection immediately, because this. So yes, this will work for you no matter what product or service you sell. Covering the objection. So after making a big after making a promise that, look, you can buy a bestseller, you can get flooded with new customers in just days. The first objection is, oh, hang on a minute. What about if I sell a different product? Or what happens if I even sell a service? Like, can I still use this? So he covers that objection. And again, if you've read my book, I always say you need to cover the objections in logical order, because any old retard can just say, no matter this, no matter that, cover the objections. But again, if you don't do it in a logical order, your believability bubble, as I like to say, is just going to get popped. So urgent, let's go back to the checklist. Is there any urgency here? Not really, no. So if I was to critique this, I'd say there could be a bit more urgency here, but again, Facebook ad compliance, so it's a little bit trickier. So that's not it. If this was me, I'd probably say something like, look, here's the thing. When you want to instill urgency, right? You don't need to just say like, there's this and that. Like, you don't just need to use a deadline and say order before 2 p.m. or whatever. You can just use it, what I call, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like slight urgency, right? So for example, there's a promotion where it says the headline is claim your marijuana millionaire playbook today, right? So the word today, it's not urgent itself, and it's definitely not specific, but it implies, right? It implies that, look, today is the last that you can get it. Obviously, that's not the case, but the reader is thinking, yeah, today's the last that I can get it. So you want to imply. You don't want to lie, but imply. How about that? Okay, from Todd Brown, West Palm Beach, Florida. This may sound crazy. All right, he started with this on another sales letter, actually. He said, this is crazy or something, whatever. This may sound crazy, but it's working like nothing I've seen before. Okay, this is why I haven't really been posting much and breaking down sales letters, because it's so formulaic that it almost gets a bit tiresome to do it again and again. Like, you'll see, if anyone's actually even watching this, you'll see again and again, it's the same formulas. So look, this may sound crazy. Boom. Okay, it's intrigue. So he's getting you to read intrigue, and I've lost, what's the word? Geez, I can tell I haven't done this in a long time. So he's obviously starting with a small short sentence, which is obviously going to get the readers to read on. Plus, he's saying this may sound crazy. Well, what is crazy, right? So intrigue stokes curiosity. That's the word I was looking for. Oh, Jesus. The word I was looking for is a momentum word, right? So this may sound crazy. What's crazy? Or momentum words are like something like, let me explain. So you have to read on. That's funny. This may sound crazy, but it's working like nothing I've seen before. Okay. So what's that doing? Again, it's new. It's unheard of, right? So I just made a Facebook post yesterday, and I said something like, this concept is something you've never heard before. It's unlike anything you've ever seen, right? So whenever you start the sales letter, like I said, it's got to be new and it's got to be different, right? If it's not different from the get-go, they'll just mentally opt out immediately, right? And the reason I wrote about this in my book, The Unpublished Chapters, which is basically the additional advanced version of my book, The Forbidden Secret of Copywriting. And in there, I say, look, right, you need to make it new and different. Where was I going with this, actually? I'll come back to that thing anyway. I just got completely distracted. But anyway, it's got to be unheard of, right, to prevent mental opt-out. Damn, I'm rusty at this bad boy. Choose any best-selling book from any author. Oh, hang on. I'm surprised he didn't really provide proof. Because he goes, this may sound crazy, but it's working like nothing I've seen before. I kind of would have put some proof anyway, a reason why. Why is it working like nothing you've ever seen before? So personally, I would have put a reason why. Choose any best-selling book from any author, and you can borrow it to fill your business with new customer sales in as little as 5 days. Okay, so that's like the big promise, right? So if we go to our checklist, the Clay to Makepeace checklist, grab them by the eyeballs. Yes, the reader is interested in that. You're flagging your ideal prospect. They want a surge of new customers or flood of new customers. It sparks curiosity. How can you borrow a bestseller? Presents a big competitive benefit. Supports and expands on the headline. Yep, we just read that. Reinforce the benefit promise. Yep, we just read that. And continues to stoke curiosity. Right. So that's reinforcing the big promise. And the reason you want to do this as well is because, as simple as it sounds, you can't just go from one idea, so using the big idea, to a completely unrelated idea, right? It's got to be kind of like a ladder, for example. Like you have the rungs, so you can't just start with like square rungs and all of a sudden it goes to like a round rung, for example. It's got to all be in line, follow one concept. So that's kind of where the rule of one comes in, right? So one big promise and solving one big problem, and you keep 100% of the money. Okay. So that's objection. Well, if I sell someone else's book, especially a best-selling book, do I keep 100% of the money? You can use a borrowed bestseller campaign with new books, old books, classics, even books which just hit the shelves. It doesn't matter. Okay, so objection one, more objections. Pick anyone, borrow it, and okay, so here's expanding on the headline, supporting. Oops. Supporting and expanding on the headline right here. Again, if you read or you break down sales letters, if you write copy, again, you'll know it's always got to be new. It's got to be fast. It's got to be easy. So because it's got to be easy, you'll see a lot of times people use like anyone can do this, right? So easy again. Borrow and fill your business with a surge of fresh buyers. He loves using these words. I've seen some of his other promos and he always says like, get a flood of new customers, get a surge of new customers. And rightly so, right? Because it paints the picture. It's not like a dead lymph word. So that's right. If we were again reinforcing the benefit, the same major benefit, but just communicated with different words. And you can do it for as long as you want to continue to drive more and more sales. So that's an additional benefit. You can do it for as long as you want. It's not just a one-off thing. You need to drive more and more sales. Okay, cool. Start small, start big, however you want. Objection, how much money do I need to start, or how much inventory perhaps do I need to start? The borrowed bestseller campaign is the perfect advertising method for you if you're short on time. So here we go, if then statement. And I probably should have mentioned anyway this. So this is his mechanism. Okay, so unique mechanism is a perfect advertising method for you if you're short on time. These target prospects don't have a product yet, don't feel like creating a new product, or just want the hefty credibility boost of borrowing a bestseller. So yeah, again, a lot of people might look over this, and it's probably the oldest concept of copywriting actually, is using your prospect's language, for example, and starting where they are, like the old principle of start with a conversation that's going on in their mind. But it's particularly important to do it kind of near the start, right? So here, any newbie wouldn't know what credibility is at all, right? They would be like, huh? So using their language, and it's an if then statement. So if then this will get you new customer sales like nothing you've ever seen before. Okay, so here we're getting into some meat. So he's using if then statement to include the reader. Inclusion if then statement, bang bang. Plus is covering objections. And then this will get you new customer sales. So benefit plus arrogant like nothing you've seen before. Okay, so again, it's got to be different. It's got to be unheard of. And it's the same thing. Whenever you break down a sales letter, like I said, it always goes new, it goes fast, and it goes, this is unlike nothing you've ever seen. It's unheard of, right? So it's different. Let's see. Okay. And you can do this no matter what niche you're in. More objections. What product or service you sell, whether you're a new entrepreneur or grizzled veteran. Okay, so here he's clarifying that, look, this is for anyone. Anyone can do this. Because, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know if this is going to his house list or if it's going to complete cold traffic. But in either case, if he's doing both, like I said, as far as I'm aware, most of his customers are pretty sophisticated. Okay, so objections. Plus, he covers the basis of if you're new or if you experience. More objections. Jesus, he's smashing them. You don't need an email list. You don't need any joint venture partners. You don't need a social media following. And you don't need any special connections or anyone's permission or approval. Okay, so this is These are big objections, right? Because especially for newbies that don't have an email list, they're thinking, oh, okay, I need an email list to sell the book, right? And then like, okay, nah, maybe I could just do JVs. It's like, oh, you don't need to do JVs and you don't need a social media following. So these are pretty big objections. Again, covering them in logical order, and you don't need any special connections or anyone's permission or approval. So you don't need a network. Okay, so these are all objections in logical order. Okay, so smashing them out. More objections. In fact, best-selling authors will love you for it. So that's tapping into recognition and fame, because if a best-selling author, for example, contacts a complete quote-unquote nobody, then they can screenshot the message, whatever, and post it on there on social media and get recognition from them and get some fame. Okay, so... And it's important to know best-selling author, right? Not just any author. Best part of all, launching a borrowed bestseller campaign is so easy. Again, hammering it is so easy and fast. Again, the mechanism. You can start seeing new sales in as little as a few days. Again, if I was to critique this, I'd say more specificity, because he said at the start that, what is it? You can have a surge of new customers, a flood of new customers in just days. And now he's saying it again in as little as a few days. Now, again, if Facebook ad compliance had nothing to do with this promotion, I'd probably say he would do it anyway. But yeah, probably some more specificity if he could, or at least imply it. I mean, this is actually, in all fairness, this is implying urgency. Actually, not. What am I talking about? Not urgency, but Jesus, it's implying some specificity, should I say? Apologies. Okay, so you can start seeing new sales in as little as a few days. So easy and fast, and objection of, okay, but how long is this going to take? So time. But you may want to jump in on this now. Okay, here we go. Here he's implying, right, some urgency. Okay, but you may want to jump on this now before one of your competitors beats you to the punch and borrows the perfect bestseller for your type of business. Okay, so this is a double whammy. First, he's using implied urgency, while at the same time using his enemy, quote unquote, throwing rocks at his enemy to get in before they do, right? So it's what I call using urgency with an opportunity, right? So you can't, for example, if you're selling an e-newsletter, right, you can't say, oh, we only have 100 copies left. That would be fake scarcity, right? But instead you can use an opportunity like he's doing right now. For example, you could say something like, the marijuana boom is about to take off and people are going all in. Are you going to be the one that's left out or not? Blah, 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 blah. So it's an opportunity. Before one of your competitors beat you to the punch. So using enemy to motivate. And that's a persuasion trigger as well. Again, if you're an advanced copywriter, you already know this. Throwing rocks at your enemy to motivate action, you already know that. Okay. And what's also happening here is actually is providing proof so it's in the he's assuming these competitors are going to take advantage of it anyway, right? So a presupposition. Okay, that's the end of the lead. Okay, let's go back up. So far, pretty good. Continue to stoke curiosity. And now it's end of the lead. Now it's going to start establishing credibility. One thing I'd point out as well, actually, especially in what I found in this day and age, writing copy, especially, like I said, in this day and age, is becoming real important to make everything compressed and concise, because the attention spans of people are just like plummeted. If you watch out what he's done here, look, he goes boom, short sentence, a little longer one, short one, right? So he's keeping it boom, 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 like short beat to the rhythm. Okay. Hi, my name is Todd Brown. You may recognize my name. Again, whenever you get to credibility and you want to establish cred, you always, no matter who you are, you presuppose. You have to assume people know about you, right? So if, for example, Donald Trump writes something, he's not going to say, hi, my name is Donald Trump. I did this and this and this. You're going to say, hi, my name is Donald Trump. You probably already know me, but just in case you've lived under a rock, right? So you're coming from a position of power. You may recognize my name. I'm the marketing advisor. Other well-known marketing experts come to you when they need help with their campaigns. That's key. Other well-known. Okay, so that word there is pretty important. Other. Okay, again, it's presupposing he's like this God's gift, right? I mean, he's pretty good at what he does, I have to say, but you get the point where he's presupposing that he's a well-known marketer anyway. So if you haven't ever heard of Todd Brown, now just by reading that, just the wordage, the languaging is presupposing that he is a well-known marketing expert. Okay, so proof. So not any old average Joe comes to him, only the sophisticated and advanced people, right, go to him. Come to you when they need help with their own campaigns. Most of the funnel experts you see today at one point were my students. Okay, I'm guessing this could be going to, or targeted at Russell Brunson's audience, because all of those Franken funnels, that's all they know is a funnel, right? So it's starting with their languaging, and especially from the start, right? So the funnel, so the language. It's meeting the reader where he's at. Okay, most of the funnels experts you see today at one point were my students. Okay, so Look, this guy is the teacher of the gurus of the gurus of the gurus, right? So Todd is at the top of the mountain. He's taught the gurus you're learning from. Okay? And it's been said, I've helped engineer more. Okay, and it's been said. So this is third party credibility, right? He's not saying it, other people are saying it. So when you want to establish cred, it's always best to go third party, it's more believable. Okay. So third party is always more believable. It's not him saying it, other people have said it. And it's been said, I've helped engineer more 6 and 7 figure marketing campaigns for clients than any other expert on the planet. Okay, so that's a big claim. That right there is a big claim. But check this out. Number one, because if these people are aware, which they probably are, of Todd Brown, because Todd Brown is targeting, I'm guessing, Russell Brunson's audience, so they're in his market anyway, right? So think about the psychology. Think about the psychology, right? So it's the fact of omnipresence, right? So if you're in a market and you're consuming, let's say you're consuming Russell's content, and you've seen Todd Brown, you see Tom Brown, all you know, right, comes back to that NLP saying like the map is not the territory, right? But all they know is Todd Brown and Russell, Todd Brown and Russell. So that's already, it allows them to self-justify in their head, right? Logical. If that makes sense, if you really get that, right? So that's all they really know anyway. Because perhaps he isn't, look, that's a big claim. I've helped engineer more 6 and 7 figure marketing campaigns for clients than any other expert on the planet. Okay. Now, this word, if you read that again, is pretty important. Because he said for clients. He didn't say for everyone in the world. He says for clients. Now, he probably means his clients, right? Again, it's implying, it's leaving the reader to get to his own conclusion, right? That's part of copywriting. You imply a lot. Whether people like it or not, it's psychological manipulation, no doubt. And it's been said, I've helped. Okay, cool. So proof. And again, notice how he wrapped it in a third party. Okay, if he said it himself, the reader would have been out like a shot. It would have been like, yeah, sure, whatever. Of course you're gonna say that. Okay. Let's see what it's saying. I'm missing some images there. Okay. So again, this picture, not that it's a big deal, but it's kind of a stance of authority, right? Not that it's a massive deal, but little details count. We're still okay, cool. Okay. Fact is, with entrepreneurs, clients, and students in over 45 different countries. Okay, this is going to. You're switching to what I call the language of logic, right? So whenever you words like simply because, the fact is, the truth is, think about it, right? You're shifting the mind from not necessarily the emotional brain, but from one part of the brain to boom, think logically, right? So that's what I call language of logic. So fact is, boom, with entrepreneurs, clients, and students in over 45 different countries, bringing in almost a combined $1 billion in annual sales, I've seen every kind of marketing campaign under the sun. Okay, so I'm assuming his target markets are entrepreneurs, right? I'm assuming that's his target market. I'm pretty confident is entrepreneurs, right? He doesn't teach like the real basics of marketing. And students in over 45 different countries, bringing in. So here's more proof. Okay, so here what he's doing. What's this bullshit? So he's making mountains out of molehills, right? So okay, yeah, you've helped a lot of people, but now he's saying, look, it's over 45 different countries, right? In almost a combined, okay, so this is a form of, whoops, so he's framing in almost a combined $1 billion in annual sales, okay? So he's framing this as a combination and he's using annual sales, right? You could have just used monthly sales or weekly sales, right? But obviously, any good copywriter would use the larger sum, right? So in a combined almost $1 billion in annual sales, I've seen every kind of marketing campaign under the sun. So that's quite a lot of proof there, which allows him to make this claim, right? So whenever you write copy, again, the principle of the forbidden secret, you want to maintain believability, right? So I like to use a metal chain as an example, right? So if you have one chain link here, one chain link here, one chain link there, right? The moment one breaks, the whole chain will collapse. And the same goes with your prospect's believability. So you always want to make sure, especially if you make a big claim like he's just done now, you want to make sure that the paragraph before the big claim is setting it up. Right. So you want to set up. That would have been easier to explain. I said that. So you want to set it up. It's a setup to the big claim. And just a small little thing. Again, pay attention to the imagery or the mind paint, the pictures he's painting in your mental movie under the sun. Okay, so he's using like daily language, not some stick up his ass language, sophisticated language. So I know what works to generate sales. And more importantly, what doesn't. Again, boom. This right here is real important. This right here, this setup, because he's making two big claims. I've seen every kind of marketing campaign under the sun. Okay. So I know what works to generate sales. Again, big claim. And more importantly, what doesn't and why. Some more proof. He knows why. Right. Again, he's the guy at the top of the mountain. While tons of entrepreneurs struggle to make their typical sales funnel models work for their business, I've yet to see the Bard bestseller campaign not perform like gangbusters. Okay, here's what's happening here. He's painting the dark side. He's painting the dark side of the current solution. Okay, so the current solution, which or path everyone's taking, is trying to make a sales funnel convert, right? The sales funnel models. Again, assuming this is going to Russell's audience, people that are aware of sales funnels, perhaps they're not converting. And he's saying, but look, I've yet to see his mechanism, the bar bestseller campaign, not perform like gangbusters. So he's painting a dark side of other. He's painting the dark side of other solutions, and the other unique mechanism the prospect is currently using. All right. So again, it's different. And look here, I've yet to see allows him to make the claim, the big claim, right? So I've yet to see the Bard bestseller campaign not perform like gangbusters. And again, these are what I call omission words, right? What does it mean if it performs like gangbusters, right? Well, because if I said it to you, you would probably think it means great, right? But he's not actually saying that. He's just implying and leaving you to come to the conclusion that it's great. For example, the same, if you read like a financial promotion, they'll say something like, people are going all in on this investment, right? They're not saying they're spending $1 million. They're saying all in, right? When someone says to you all in, you're thinking people are spending all their money, right? So it's an omission word. He's not saying it's better than a sales one. He's saying it's working like gangbusters. And to my point, I've yet to see, again, it's new and different. So, for example, in my book sales letter, I said something like, to my knowledge, there's no other book exactly like this in the world. Now, that's true because there isn't any other book like that exactly in the world, right? I've used the word exactly. There are some principles in my book. There are some that are the same in some other books. But I said, to my knowledge, this book is not exactly like other books, right? So that phrasing, that languaging allows me to make the claim. It works every time it's used. Okay, claim, reason why. Because one, you instantly have a hot selling offer. So benefit, no matter what core product or service you sell. Objection. Two, you get sales at sky high conversion rates thanks to the thousands of dollars in PR and buzz already generated. So objection, you don't need to spend money doing that stuff. Three, you enjoy immediate credibility and authority positioning. He's essentially just repeating what he said up here. 4, you gain instant expert status along the celebrity author. Yeah, he wants that fame. And you keep 100% of every sale while getting new customers galore, right? So he's just repeating himself with different phraseology, basically, right? So here it's the benefits, and on this side, like in brackets and things, it's just objections, okay? Not exactly that, because the fact that he's saying you get sales at sky high rates thanks to the thousands of dollars in PR. Again, it covers, it's like a benefit and objection in the same sentence. If that makes sense. A little known customer generating move quietly used by the big dogs. Okay. This is a persuasion trigger. So again, if you read any financial promos, you'll see it's just, they always use this like a secret. It's a little known loophole, for example, right? So a little known, it's a secret, and it's used by the big dogs, right? So it's a secret and someone's hiding something from them. So it's insider knowledge. That's the reason why you haven't achieved what the big dogs have achieved. I quite like the words actually that he's using, the power words to paint the pictures, right? You could have just said, these are used by, so and so and so, the big, I can't even think of a different word, the big players or whatever. Insiders. Quietly used by the big dogs. Again, it's providing a reason why. So Objection. Okay, so here it's benefit. You're generating customers. It's secret plus. It's a quiet move, which is overcoming the objection of why haven't I heard about this? Well, you haven't heard about this because it's a little known secret, basically. That's what it's saying. Used by the big dogs. Again, that's another persuasion trigger. Us versus them, right? So, again, small dogs versus big dogs. The underdog. I wish I could say I invented the borrowed bestseller campaign. I didn't. I stumbled across it. Okay, here we go. I think this is gonna get into the unique mechanism, problem and solution, right? So let's get this. I wish I could say I invented the borrowed bestseller campaign. I didn't. I stumbled across it, but about 18 months ago. I stumbled across it. Okay, that's gonna be important. Just keep that in mind. About 18 months ago, while studying what a handful of the fastest growing direct marketing companies are doing, I saw how some of their most successful marketing campaigns are borrowing a bestseller to build monster-sized lists of new buyers. Okay. Here we go. That's a bit more specific. Here's the thing. Okay. So the unique mechanism in this case is the borrowed bestseller campaign, right? That's the unique mechanism. Now, when you have a unique mechanism, again, I explain this in my book, The Unpublished Chapters. I go much more in depth. But anyway, when I have the unique mechanism, right, you need to provide a reason why, right, a reason why the other unique mechanisms in the market hasn't worked and why this one is better, right? So I call it the unique mechanism problem and a unique mechanism solution, right? And whenever you do this to make it even more effective, number one, damn, I'm giving you my secrets here. Number one, you need to make a logical connection. So you need to create a chain of logical reasoning. And number two, you need to use fate. Why do you need to use fate? Well, actually, if you read my post yesterday, you would have seen you want to use fate because of this. And just get this. When you use fate, it's easier for the prospect to self-justify, to provide logical justification to themselves, which is the best form of proof, right? And you do that by using fate, right? Because if they have no personal control, like inner control, if it's due to their diet, if it's due to their genetics, it's a lot easier to justify than something that's in their control, right? So look, I stumbled across it, right? It's fate. Like, he didn't just what's it called, like search for it and found it. He stumbled across it. He discovered it. All right, so he was lucky. And it furthermore shows that, look, this is something new and revolutionary, right? I stumbled across it about 18 months ago while studying what a handful, so more images, a handful of the fastest growing direct marketing companies are doing. So it's proof. It's proof of the concept that it works. Why? Because it's not just any direct marketing company, it's the fastest direct marketing companies. I saw how some of their most successful marketing campaigns are borrowing a bestseller to build monster-sized lists of new buyers. So benefit. So again, objection again. It's about this. It's the same objection here again. Why haven't I heard about it? Why haven't I heard about this? It's basically covering that objection. And if you don't know, a very formulaic body copy formula is just objection, claim, proof, benefit, right? So here's the objection, here's a claim, here's a proof, like Newsmax, for example, who's borrowing this book from author Peter Tanis and acquiring tens of thousands of newsletter subscribers. So benefit, let's have a look at the image, see what's happening. Okay, not much missing, are we? And that's just a dozen of bestsellers they're borrowing to grow. Okay, look, and that's just one of dozens of bestsellers they're borrowing to grow their customers. So this is like worst case scenario, right? That's just one. Imagine what all of the rest can do. So oops. And it's proof. It's further proof. Proof that they're borrowing more than one, that it's working. Let's see if this is still recording. Right, we're still here. Newsmax continues to grow their database of buyers with different borrowed bestseller campaigns every single month. Every single month, month after month. Okay, so again, he's casting a wide net. He's saying they've done it again and again. It's proof. After a little more research, again, so pay attention to the words. I discovered, I stumbled upon, right? It's because of fate. Newsmax, I discovered Newsmax is just the beginning. Okay. So again, like, look, this is just a sliver of what's really happening, right? The potential is huge, right? So he's tapping into greed as well, somewhat. Almost all of fastest growing direct marketing companies acquire thousands of new customers every month running their own borrowed bestseller campaigns. Okay, this is proof. That's interesting. It actually sounds a bit redundant, because he just said that, I believe, just a few lines up. Or maybe I'm tripping out, who knows. Like Health Radar, but then again, he's setting up the proof, but still. Like Health Radar, who's borrowing this book from David Horowitz and getting new customers. And the folks are borrowing this book from. Okay, so this is key. Listen up. When you want to provide this proof, so here's what this is doing. I'll show you. So what's happening here? And when you provide proof, you don't want to provide proof in a barrel, right? You want to provide proof in, what's an analogy I can use? Like a honeycomb. I keep thinking this is the camera, the microphone. You know, provide proof like a honeycomb, for example. So you have all these little holes, right? And each of them are elements of proof, and they're different. So instead of providing, for example, here Todd could have just been like Health Radar, right? Like Health Radar. Health Radar has done this and this and this. No. Instead, you can also overcome objections at the same time. You want to say, look, it worked for this person in this situation. It worked for this person in this market, and it worked for this person in that market, and that market, and that market, right? So you want to cast what I call a wide net, right? So if you're fishing, for example, you don't want to just have one line in the sea. You want to have 15 different lines, right? So the same goes for proof. So there, boom. Get this as well, right? So here again, like I said, he's casting a wide net with proof. He's not just hammering one barrel. Plus, check this out, and getting new customers. And getting new customers. Now, again, this may seem redundant, but repetition, internal, so this is internal repetition, right? So he's using the same languaging to drive his point home, right? That's the main benefit, to get new customers, to get new customers, to get new customers, to get new customers, right? This is the major benefit of his whole promotion, right? So from the start, look, get flooded with new customers. It's a major benefit, more new customers. I want to actually point out something to you again. So here again, so he's painting the dark side of the other unique mechanisms, or unique mechanism, shall I say. Jeez. So I say, so the typical sale funnel models, that's the other mechanism people are using, and he's making a case for his mechanism, right? And check this out. I don't want to be too redundant because I already explained this, but look, he's saying this works because basically, unlike a sales model, right? So he is not saying this anywhere. There's nowhere on the page. It's all happening in the reader's mind. So he's basically saying, unlike a sales funnel model, the unique mechanism the reader is currently using, the problem with that is you don't have a hot selling offer, right? You probably need to spend a lot of money to generate some buzz around your product, and you probably need some credibility to actually sell your product, right? So he's positioning completely against the other mechanism. I thought I just point that out. Again, more internal repetition. And again, this proof that he's displaying here is, again, covering different objections of, oh, does it work for this market? Does it work for that market? Does it work for male or female? Whatever. And I could go on and on with example after example. And here's the thing to understand. None of these companies own these books. Okay, so Objection, do you need to own them? Right, it's not really an objection because it's been saying a borrowed bestseller. They didn't write them. They didn't invest any time creating them. They don't have any special deal with the authors or publisher. They simply borrow the item like this. Okay, so these are essentially, again, it's not, these are basically like it's not statements, right? So a lot of the time you'll see something like, It's not this. It's not that. It's not that. Right? So it's essentially that, but it's overcoming objections again. Do I have to write them? Do I have to do that? No, you don't have to do that. Plus, it's saying that, look, this is easy. This is fast. This is secure. And you can make a lot of money. They, again, what I call language of logic. They simply, language of logic and ease. They simply borrow them like this. Right? Again, pay attention to the momentum words he's using. So he's keeping all these, I guess you could say, points blind, right? So he's saying like this, like that. Let me explain. And is making what they call the greased chute, right? So he's keeping the reader going all the way to the bottom. It's actually pretty good, especially today's day and age. People, they can't read more than a few minutes if it's boring. Most times, they're not. Okay, here we go. Most times, they're not using a free plus shipping offer or standard book funnel. Okay, so boom, they're not using what the target prospect is currently either doing or aware of, right? So this is an objection because the reader reading this is probably thinking, because they're in this market that Todd is targeting, they're thinking, oh, okay, this is probably another free plus shipping or standard book funnel, right? No. They're using a borrowed bestseller campaign to sell the books just a bit below full retail. So this is his unique mechanism, right? Now he's creating further intrigue. He's stoking curiosity even further, because they're like, okay, now what is this borrowed bestseller campaign? If it's not this, then what is it, right? So it's an it's not statement. It creates intrigue, and it sets it up for this. Just a bit below full retail. And every sale, they keep 100% of the money, while growing their list of buyers bigger and bigger. Okay. So again, this is the main promise, the main benefit throughout. He's essentially saying what he said near the start, but just in different words, right? So he's communicating the same thing, and it's just one major benefit, one solution. That's it. And if you've read my book, the unpublished chapters, you'll know I speak about the one belief, right? So if you can get people, and it's not as simple as I'm making it here, there's a lot of intricacies, but essentially, if you can make someone believe in one thing, right, which is he's doing now, he's just concentrating on one thing, hammering it, getting them to believe that his borrowed bestseller campaign is the best thing since sliced bread, right? Once they believe that, almost all the other objections just collapse. Okay, and that's what we're really selling. We're selling belief, especially if they failed in the past. When I first saw how the borrowed bestseller campaign works, I was blown away. Okay, he's creating further intrigue. What is this mechanism you've got here? What is this? And just in case I haven't made myself clear, maybe you're a beginner watching this or something, the whole purpose of the unique mechanism, in this case, the borrowed bestseller campaign, is because it's different, right? It could be the exact same concept that so many people have been talking about, but he's coining a term, essentially, right? He's coining a term, so no one knows what he's even talking about. And that's why you have to keep reading to find out what he's talking about. The fact that you don't need to write a book and make it a bestseller to get tons of new customers, you can just borrow one. Okay, so he's hammered that already. You don't need to write a new book. This is easy. Like, this is easy, man. This is easy money. You don't even need to write a book. Or you don't even need to go through the work or money to get it to a bestseller, to get new customers, which you ultimately want. That's your main benefit you want. No, you can just borrow one. So objections and benefit. Think about it. No writing. Okay, here again, language or logic is going from kind of to the emotional brain back to the logical brain, right? So, like I said, language of logic, words like simply because, think about it. The truth is, it allows for self-justification, which, like I said, is probably the best form of proof you can get. No writing or product creation, a sellable product instantly, the instant credibility of a published book, the positioning. Okay. Again, look, he's saying the same thing, right? And that really is what the sales letter is about, right? You say the same thing in a different way, right? Look, how many times does he says PR and buzz already created? This is again the internal repetition. So he's casting a wide net of all these benefits. He's not just saying it benefits you this way, this way, this way. He's saying no, it benefits you in all these ways as well. But remember, he still has one major benefit. If that's not a beautiful marketing opportunity, I don't know what is. So immediately I decided to put the borrowed bestseller campaign to the test in my own business. Okay, this is a form of proof. And look, it's a marketing opportunity. So this is kind of a bit permissive, right? He's saying, look, this is like a good opportunity, right? He's not making a big, massive, huge, hyperbole claim out of that. So he's increasing believability here. So immediately I decided to put the borrowed bestseller campaign to test in my business. This is proof he's got skin in the game. It's kind of like a guarantee, right? If you have a triple your money back guarantee, it's not quote unquote proof, but it is proof because it's showing that, look, if you're giving me triple back money guarantee, it shows, look, I've got skin in the game. I believe in this product. It can help you, right? So skin in the game. So I spoke to my friends at Agora Financial to find out where they go to borrow their bestsellers. Okay, so further proof. And I'm assuming, I'm not sure where this offer is going or who it's targeted at. If it's targeted at his readers, I think that's fine because his readers know who Agora Financial is. But I guess it's not. This guy is smart. But if this, so for example, for you, if this was targeted at complete cold traffic and you didn't get the targeting dialed in and they didn't know who Agora Financial was, this would be quite a big mistake, right? Because they'll be like, oh, like, who cares? Like, who's Agora Financial, right? They have no credibility. But because Todd is, I'm assuming, targeting readers who know this direct response company, it's a form of proof, right? It's a very big form of proof. The biggest direct response marketing company in the world, right? It's your friend, right? Wow, that's good. Form of proof. They shared their secret source. Again, persuasion trigger, secret, and pay attention to the words there. this market that he's targeting is, I'm assuming, I hope so sick of hearing, look, this is a secret, right? So the fact that he just added in the word source makes it a bit less like humorous almost, right? You can get away with it. So he didn't just say this is the secret. So this is a secret source. And off I went to borrow my bestseller. I was stunned to see there are hundreds of bestsellers you can borrow right now. Okay. Objection. Is it too late? Have I missed my opportunity? What's happening? Right? Or is there still some left for me? Right, we're still live. And more which become available for borrowing every week. Okay. Look at that there. It just slipped my mind. I believe it. That's that essentially creates. I forgot what it's called now. It slipped my mind. I believe a causality, right? So whenever you make a claim and you say, for example, if I say the more you watch these videos, the better you'll get, or the more sales you make, right? That's more believable than just saying, watch this video, you make more sales, right? So whereas like the more and the more creates a causality and increases belief. It slipped my mind. I think it's either a universal quantifier pattern, or I'm not exactly sure right now. It slipped my mind. Anyway, and more which becomes available for borrowing every week. So at the same time, it's also overcoming the objection. Look, was this just a limited time? Did you just get lucky? Is there any more space for me? Right, so same objection covered. Or not space, enough copies. You name it. There's a book you can borrow and immediately use to get new customers. Again, internal repetition, same major benefit repeated again and again and again. You can borrow it immediately. It's fast, it's easy. Almost every topic imaginable, right? Okay. So again, casting a wide net. Look, overcoming the objection of, look, does this work at my market? Well, yes, it does. It works in all these markets. Most which are on Amazon for up to $24, which you can borrow for as little. So again, an omission. I call it an omission word. Most. So he's leaving room for implication. So they really come to their own conclusion. Most which sell on Amazon for up to, again, what I call a disclaimer word. It's implying that they sell for $24, but it's saying up to, right? So you can say, people pay me up to, let's say, 500,000 for 1 day of consulting, right? And you could charge 450,000, right? So it's up to that figure. Which you can borrow for as little as, again, disclaimer words like I like to use, 50 cents to $3. Okay, so this is important. You'll see this more, I'd say, in financial promos, because they make their claims more with what's the word, like large figures. So they have to say like up to, as little as much as, right? So they're leaving room for implication. Now, the reason why that's important is because of one reason. That's it, believability. It allowed you to make a claim while at the same time also sounding reasonable and believable. Plus, that believability, just those words, allow you to also, not that it's done here, but it allowed you to reframe as well. Plus, tap into greed at the same time, because he's showing you kind of like the maximum the books can sell for. And then at the opposite end of the spectrum, he's showing you, look, you can sell it for $24 up to, but you can buy it for as little as 50 cents. Look how much money you can make there, right? So he's tapping into the greed and the benefit. I spent a few weeks searching through the secret sources. Okay, so you could have just said, I spent a few minutes searching through the secret sources catalog. Now, again, that can mean anything. Is so he's keeping us hooked with the word secret, intrigue. What is the secret source catalog? I found the perfect book for my business, Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Perfect. Because I knew my audience, entrepreneurs and marketers, were already fans of Dr. Cialdini's book Influence, and they already viewed him as an authority and expert. Okay, so the word there is already. Here's what he's really trying. Let me read what he's saying and then I'll explain. And there was already a lot of buzz circulating in the industry about persuasion. So I figured, perfect. I'll borrow this book, offer it to the market with a borrowed bestseller campaign, and generate a bunch of new customers. Okay, now get this. He's made the exact same point all throughout, right? So look, he's using, I don't know what the word exactly is, but kind of, it's not the correct word, but he's using a different point of explanation, for example, right? So if I wanted to sell this cup, right, he's essentially looking at it from this angle, explaining it to you. Then he's looking at it from this angle and explaining from another angle. Then he's doing it from this angle, right? So he's using different angles to explain the same point, make the same argument. So check this out. And they already viewed him as an authority and expert. Okay. And there was already a lot of buzz. I'll show you what he's doing. So I figured part of and generate a bunch of new customers. So that's right, same benefit. Now let's remember these two. Right, remember that and remember that. Now let's go up. And let me show you. Look. Remember this? I just showed you. A buzz is already created, right? The keyword is already. You don't need to spend any more money or time or anything. It's already there. So the PR and buzz, and then what was the other one? Authority and expert. There you go. Instant credibility of a published book. Established expert. Saying the same thing, you become an authority. And if you go up again, where did he say? He said the exact same thing. Here again, look, see? In PR buzz already generated, same exact point. I actually think that's exact same languaging. Exact same language. And yeah, look, authority positioning. Right, so you see that he's repeated the same phrases again and again from just a different angle. Right, see that? Boom, boom. Now, keep in mind. Okay, just before I move on, the key word there was already, right? So that's why I underlined it, because the word already, it showed you, look, people have already done this. People have already spent their money. People have already spent their time. People have already spent all their resources. It's all set up for you. Now, all you have to do is grab someone else's book and aim it at this resource, right? And that's it. You make all the money. Everyone else has done the work for you. Now, keep in mind, I did not have any relationship whatsoever to Dr. Cialdini, his publisher, or his company. But as you'll soon see, that doesn't matter. Okay, objection. Okay, so objection and so benefits and objection. But as you'll soon see, that doesn't matter. You don't need any special relationship, connections, or permission. Look, and this is why sometimes analyzing and breaking down sales letters can get very, very tedious, because it's the same thing. Look, check this out. You don't need any special relationship, connections, or permission. Remember this. Remember that. Now check this. Look, what's that? What's that there? It's exactly what you just read. Okay, maybe not exactly, but very, very similar. So hammering the objections again and again and again, just in a different angle. At the time, Priest Agent was selling on Amazon for $18.22. From the secret source, okay, again, he's gone from like a medium lead, if you want to call it that. So it's not direct, it's not indirect, it's in the middle. So he's gone from that lead, now kind of transitioning into the secret source, right? So whenever you write a promotion, you have like I said, you have the unique mechanism problem, and the unique mechanism solution, right? You have those three, but you also have what's called a driver. The driver is what allows the unique mechanism to work. It's kind of like a door, right? So you have the door, and which is the unique mechanism, and the driver is the key which opens the door. Now, in this case, I think the driver is the secret sauce, right? The secret sauce is what allowed him to use this unique mechanism, the bestseller book campaign. And I was able to borrow it for just $3. Again, the secret sauce is keeping intrigue, because now it's got you hooked. Now you want to know what it is. Plus, let me show you. Look, right there, $18.22. So he's using comparing and contrasting, right? So he's showing you, look, you can only spend $3 and you make $18.22. How often would you do that, right? As many times as you want. Obviously, there's more to it than that. But what he's really doing, which is a very, 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 very powerful concept, especially when you get right into the offer section, to create a point of difference, to create an anchor, use a pre-established value which people can easily prove to themselves, right? For example, you just saw that picture on Amazon, and because Amazon is already a trusted source, it's even more powerful, right? Because that's the real retail value people are already paying, right? So that's a pre-established value. Then I took 5 days to create some notes and stuff to go with it. That's good. To create some notes and stuff to go with it, right? So that also humanizes him, right? So after blowing his own trumpet a little bit, right, now he's using just daily language, like, stuff to go with it, right? So he's speaking like a 4th grade level language, right, which is really effective in persuasion. To set up a little 2-page buyer bestseller campaign and started selling it for $16.92. Right? As soon as the campaign was published, I knew I was onto something big, because sales started flowing in. Because sales started flowing in the first hour the offer went live. Okay, again, this is this is implying, right? This is leaving the reader to get to his own conclusion. He's saying because sales started flowing in. Now, first of all, what does flowing in even mean? Well, it doesn't mean shit, right? It just doesn't mean anything. But because of the way we use the word in society, when you use words like flowing in, all in, right, it implies that he's got a lot of sales, right? When actually he could have just got one or two. Okay. As soon as the campaign was published, I knew I was onto something big. Let's see. And then a testimonial from Russell Brunson again. It worked so well, it brought me new customers every day for over 11 weeks straight. So, benefit. Okay. So, he's using a benefit, which is obviously the new customers. He's freaking hammering that major benefit. He's hammering it hard. Then, so we're saying every day. So look, this is fast. This is easy. This is secure. I've already done this. So I'm going to show you how to do it. All right. Plus, what he's doing is expanding the benefits and providing the future benefits, right? So it didn't just work once. It worked for over 11 weeks straight, which at the same time overcomes the objection of look, did it just work once? Is this just like a lucky flash in the pan? A handful of top marketers even reached out to ask how I was doing it. Okay, so this is proof. He's at the top of the mountain once again. Top marketers are asking him, right? He's the authority. Wanting to know how to set it up their own bestseller campaign. Like Russell Brunson, who sent me a Voxer message immediately. Okay, cool. So that was obviously the testimonial he used right at the top. Again, assuming it's targeting Russell's market, which would have been real effective. Of course, the real beauty of this first Bard bestselling campaign wasn't, so the real beauty wasn't the few dollars of profit I made for every Bard copy of Persuasion sold. Okay, so this is getting the reader's greed glands going, right? Because he's showing them first of all, look, you can spend $3 and make like $15, right? So that's a huge major benefit. That's a massive profit margin. But he's saying, look, that's just like a little sliver of what you can do. Check this out. Okay, so no, the real magic was everything sold afterwards to all those new customers. That little 2-page Bard bestseller campaign generated. That's the beauty with a Bard bestseller campaign. So this is an additional hidden benefit. So he's smashing on that greed. He's saying, look, so he, again, instead of casting one line into the ocean, he's casting loads. So he's using one benefit and he's saying, no, that's not even the best bit. Here's another benefit you didn't even know of. Right. Which, again, it's pretty tough if you know anything about direct marketing, right? The first sale you don't make most of the time no profit on, depending on what your strategy is. But if you, let's say you break even, you make no profit, and then you sell all the products on the back end, right? That's where you make the money. So that's essentially what he's saying here, right? The real magic was everything sold afterwards. But again, he's framing it. He's framing all this as something new and different. So he could have easily said, look, the real magic was everything that was sold on the back end, right? Which the prospect would have probably been like, well, yeah, no shit, that's not really a benefit, is it? We knew that. But now, because he's being vague, they don't exactly know what he's really talking about, what he really means. With a borrowed bestseller campaign, you generate sales from new buyers, which you then own and can sell over and over and over. So you get new buyers, which you then own and can sell over and over and over. No shit. Right? But again, it's framed as it's something new and it's something different. Simply put, you're borrowing a bestseller on a topic related to your main product or service. Related, okay, to your main product or service. Acquiring fresh, motivated customers as they buy the book from you through your borrowed. Again, I've seen him use that quite often. Now, that so you could have actually spelled through, as in like the way you actually spell it, but instead he chose to use more quote unquote slang language, right? And not only does that again more humanize him, speak like in a third grade level, at the same time, it also stops the reader. So, for example, you'll see some. I won't name the marketer because I'll give you strategy away, but I used it myself. You'll see some marketers, they'll have like this. Everything obviously will be spelled correctly, and then they'll purposely make a spelling mistake. So your subconscious doesn't just like read. Instead, you read, and you're like, huh, shit, and you read the line again, right? So words like this that's purposely not spelled the way you expect them to breaks your schema and makes you read it again. Then selling those new buyers your main product or service afterwards. Okay, he's making the same point. Then selling those new buyers your main product or service afterwards. So again, he's essentially saying you use someone else's book to acquire the customer and then sell your actual service afterwards. And as you get more and more new buyers, look, check that out. As you get more and more, so the little hypnotic pattern, right? So more and more new buyers from your borrowed bestseller campaign, you own all those new customers for life. Okay, well, we know that. And can sell more and more products to them anytime you want. Again, pay attention to I'm pretty sure it's called the universal quantifier pattern, where you say the more. So the repetition, you can sell more and more products than anytime you want to them anytime you want. Again, same thing. He's just repeating the same thing. It's framed as something new and different, but all it really is you have people that come in with a loss leader product, or in this case, he's showing you that you can make profit, and then you just sell more products on the back end. It's the same thing, but he's just making the point from different angles. It really is. It really is. What? All right. It really is as simple as 3 steps. Okay. So simple. Look, this is secure. It's easy. I've got you. Like, it's really tapping into your need for security. As simple as 3 steps. Okay. So again, steps. The word steps, the word formula, the word blueprint. It all implies safety and security. Right. Step 1, use a secret source. Step 2, set 2-page broad bestseller campaign, get funded with new customers. Okay. And the graphic, again, it's easy to picture. No shit, right? But it's easy to picture, and you can easily see, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3. This is easy. Okay. Think about it. Okay. Let's go back to think about it. Language of logics. Going into logical mode, you can borrow and sell a fitness bestseller. If you own a gym, sell weight loss product, or offer dietary supplements. If then you own a hot list of fitness enthusiast buyers you can sell your main product or service to over and over and over. Okay, so again, using an if-then statement. Now he's going to use all these bullets again to cast a wide net. So cast a wide net of objection. Does it work for me? So it's proof that this works in every industry. And objection. Does it work for me? Does it work for me? And again, I'm assuming he's targeting, the people he's targeting are either one of these, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't be using an if-then statement, because you have to be careful. You can't use an if-then statement if you have no clue of the reader that's going to be reading this, right? Because they'll be like, no, this doesn't include me. So if you're in a gym, then you're on a hot list of futures, blah, blah, blah. Borrow a bestseller if you offer. So he's, again, same formula. Look, if, then, blah, 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 blah. If you have all this, then you'll own a hot list, blah, 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 blah. And you can say your main product service over and over and over. Look. It's almost like he just copied and pasted it. Serious, look. Okay. So I'm not even going to go through the rest. But as you can see, look. Different market, different market, different market. So the main purpose here is just to basically say, if you're in this market, then you can sell your product or service over and over and over. Fact is, again, language of logic. No matter what product or service you offer, the opportunities for you to borrow a bestseller, set up the simple and easy borrowed bestseller campaign, and generate new customers are endless. So again, objection. Is this for my product or service? Is it applicable to me in my market? Are we still live? Oh, shit. Right. I'm not exactly sure what's happening here, but yeah. I guess we'll just end it there and we'll carry on for another day. So, yeah. Take it easy. Until next time.